Good Sunday morning, everyone. Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. In today's video, I will be tracking a parade of storm systems that will bring mountain snow, heavy rainfall, and flash flooding to the eastern United States and the polar vortex south out of Canada into the northern plains and the upper Midwest going towards the middle of December. If you guys are new to the channel and have yet to subscribe, hit the subscribe button down below and the notification bell to get all of my daily weather forecast updates here on this channel. I cover the United States, Canada, and the tropics and everything in between here in this channel. So again, hit the subscribe button down below and the notification bell to get all of my daily weather forecast updates on this channel. Looking here at the quick snapshot here this morning, we got another storm system moving into the western United States, bringing more heavy mountain snow and also heavy rainfall to California and getting into western Oregon State. This is going to be our next storm system, bringing lots of mountain snow, and that's where we have those alerts with those purple and pink shaded areas, especially across those upper elevations into Montana, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, and even into portions of California there. Those are winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings. The winter storm warnings are for the Sierra Nevadas, where they're going to get several feet of snowfall here in the coming days. And looking here at the storm system here with the visible vorticity signature, you can definitely see right off the west coast here that low pressure system starting to wind up. And ahead of that system, we have some cold air in place for that mountain snow as we move in through the next couple of days. You definitely see some 20s and 30s showing up, especially here into the Sierra Nevadas. And then really as we get up into northern Idaho, western portions of Montana, getting into the upper elevations of Washington and Oregon State. And that is going to be supporting some heavier snow across this area through the day today. So you see here as we get into the afternoon, lots of snowfall in those upper elevations, getting down through the Sierra Nevadas, some rainfall potentially into eastern Arizona, western New Mexico with this storm system. It'll be too warm down in those areas here for snowfall, but definitely some rain showers in those areas. And then as we head into the overnight hours here this evening, we'll be talking about more snowfall spreading eastward into western Montana, western Wyoming, getting into Idaho, as well as the Washington State, Oregon State areas. And again, southward here into California, in those lower elevations, we'll be seeing more of that liquid precipitation here of rainfall. And then as we go through the afternoon on your Monday, we'll see more snowfall across those areas and some heavier snowfall, especially into the northern Sierra Nevadas and California here in those upper elevations as we go through the day on Monday. Looking at the 48-hour snowfall accumulation across these areas, pretty robust snowfall amounts across the mountain snowfall areas here. Again, you can see Montana getting back through Idaho, western Wyoming, and then into portions of southeastern Washington, Oregon State. We could be seeing several inches of snowfall, again, in those higher elevations. But as we get into the Sierra Nevadas and in northern California as well, we're going to be talking about several inches of snow, if not a couple of feet, falling within the next 48 hours. And that is on top of a few feet of snowfall that has already fallen over the past couple of days. We'll be adding to those totals in a big way as we head through the next 24 to 48 hours. Looking up again across here, portions of the Pacific Northwest and the Intermountain West, again, those higher elevations will win out with definitely the potential for double-digit snowfall over 10 inches as we head across portions of western Montana, northern Idaho, getting into western Wyoming, potentially even up there toward the Salt Lake City area as well, into the upper elevations of Utah. So definitely a lot of snowfall on the way over the next 24 to 48 hours across the Pacific Northwest. But as we get toward early and middle portion of next week, another storm system is going to be diving down into the desert Southwest, and this is going to be kind of a stationary boundary. We got a very strong subtropical jet moving across the southern and central United States, and this is really going to be parked over this area for the next several days, starting on Tuesday, December 6th, going even on into the day on Wednesday, December 7th, and that will even carry into Thursday, December 8th as well. So looking here at the precipitable water values, you can definitely see the greens, even some blues showing up across northwestern Mexico, getting into Texas here and into portions of the southeast. These are precipitable water values of how much rainfall could be wrung out of the atmosphere over a given time if we see showers and storms move through this area on your Tuesday. That will continue into Wednesday with more moisture trailing into portions of Texas, into Oklahoma, and over there towards Arkansas and Tennessee. And that even carries into the day on Thursday, December 8th, with some heavier rainfall across those areas. And looking here at what the radar could look like going into your Tuesday timeframe, December 6th, some scattered showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder across the Tennessee and southern Ohio Valley as we get into the day on Tuesday. That will carry into Tuesday night through much of the day on Wednesday. That stationary boundary will set up here. On either side of that, we could be seeing some rainfall here across this area. It'll be too warm for any snowfall, so definitely seeing some rumbles of thunder and some steady rains across Arkansas, getting into Tennessee, northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, and perhaps even northern Georgia as well on your Wednesday. And even on Thursday, that continues a little bit farther north as well into Kentucky, getting into Indiana, southern Illinois, and then over toward the Virginia area and to North Carolina as well as we get into Thursday. Maybe some snowfall on the backside as some cold air starts to wrap around here from the north into portions of central and eastern Nebraska, getting into southeastern South Dakota by the time we get into Thursday, December 8th timeframe. But looking here at the rainfall amounts, accumulation of all that liquid precipitation, that rainfall out there through the next 120 hours here or so, going through the next 5 days, definitely some very heavy rainfall from eastern Oklahoma, northeast Texas, all the way through Arkansas here, southeastern Missouri, getting into Kentucky, Tennessee, northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, and to northern Georgia. Really across these red and peach shaded colors, that's where we see 2 to 4 plus inches of rainfall, and that's really centered on western and middle Tennessee as we go all the way through Thursday, December 8th. So much so that we actually do have the threat for some flash flooding, a marginal to slight risk for flash flooding across portions of Tennessee, getting into the deep south there on the day on Monday. That will continue into the day on Tuesday, into your Wednesday morning, with a marginal risk across much of Tennessee, getting into northern Alabama, northern Georgia, and then a slight risk for excessive rainfall going into Wednesday into Thursday timeframe, into eastern Oklahoma, into northwestern and northern Arkansas. And this could be expanding here in coverage and upgraded potentially as we get a little bit closer. But on the northern side of the system, we could be talking about some heavier snows breaking out late next week on your Thursday into Friday timeframe. Definitely a swath of maybe a few to several inches of snowfall across portions of eastern Nebraska, getting through Iowa, southern Wisconsin, maybe far northern Illinois here, the northern suburbs of the Chicago metro area, and then kind of trailing off toward the Detroit, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, Lansing, Michigan areas as well. And that could be kind of moving eastward towards western New York as we get toward early next weekend. But looking up to the north, that polar vortex is going to be making an appearance yet again. Another vort lobe that we call, that will be moving farther south as we get in towards that December 6th time frame. That will swing its way to the east, and then again we're going to have another one of these spokes of energy from the polar vortex dropping south into the Pacific Northwest, going into late next week here on your Thursday time frame. And then again, going into late next weekend, another piece of energy from that polar vortex disrupting farther south across the Pacific Northwest into southern and southwestern Canada as we get into that Saturday and Sunday timeframe, December 10th and 11th. And then we have another storm system to talk about, a big dip in the jet stream potentially as we get toward late next weekend on your Saturday and Sunday timeframe on December 10th and 11th. We have a nice here neutral to positively tilted trough across much of the Intermountain West and the Rockies here, and that is going to spell out our next chance for snowfall across portions of the Intermountain West and the Rockies as well going into next weekend. Ahead of the storm system, plenty of warm air for some scattered showers and storms. We'll have to watch the threat for severe weather, but as of now, we're not looking at anything too significant as of now for that. And then as we move here into your Sunday afternoon time frame, some tightly wound low pressure system, potentially a 989 millibar low across here, somewhere across the eastern Iowa area, maybe western Illinois. With a trailing cold front, we could have some scattered showers and storms across the Dixie Alley area, getting up here into Tennessee and Ohio River Valley. But on the backside, with all that colder air from the north moving into the upper Midwest, we could be talking about some heavier snows across northern Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Iowa as we get into that time frame. And again, with that colder air, temperatures wrapping around into the 20s and teens here into Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, and Iowa, we could be talking about, again, some significant snowfall potential as we get towards late next weekend into early the following week. So that will be something to keep an eye on here as well, according to the European high resolution guidance, which is usually pretty good this time of year. So we'll continue to monitor this as we get a little bit closer. Looking also at the GEFS, which is the ensemble to the GFS, it does kind of paint a nice picture for potentially some snowfall across these areas as well. Don't take these amounts verbatim, but definitely seeing a signal for some heavier snow across northern Wisconsin, eastern Minnesota, getting down to northern Iowa, potentially going through late next weekend and into the following week. But the long range weather pattern all the way through December 17th here, from the December 11th through the 17th time frame, does favor colder than normal temperatures across the Pacific Northwest and the West Coast, warmer than normal temperatures from eastern New Mexico through Texas and the Gulf Coast, and also up here into the Northeast as well. So that will be something to keep an eye on. But looking here at the active storm track going through the middle of December through December 17th, definitely across portions of the northern plains, the Pacific Northwest, the upper Midwest, and then trailing over through the Great Lakes and into the Northeast, with kind of a classic La Nina pattern toward the middle here of December, with a drier than normal pattern into Texas, Louisiana, and getting really across the desert Southwest, the southern plains, and over towards the Gulf Coast states during that time. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely appreciate it. If you guys liked the video, definitely leave the like down below. That is the thumbs up button. Leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. We'll get to those later on today. And most importantly, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I definitely appreciate all the new subscribers out there. Also, hit that notification bell to get all of my daily weather forecast updates on this channel. Have a great weekend, everybody, a great Sunday, and I'll see you all in the next video.